A filmmaker from Fishers, coming back home from L.A.
to film Sometimes I Imagine Your Funeral. It's based on his personal experience.
He hopes it will be a conversation starter about addiction.
Spreading the message about his relationship with him and his sister. We have Vince Dixon with us.
I'm Vince Dixon, the writer-director of Sometimes I Imagine Your Funeral, a new short film based on a letter I wrote, but never sent, to my sister Lauren just a few weeks before she overdosed. With this film, I hope to capture the broad spectrum of emotions you feel when your loved one is battling addiction. Today we're at St. Mark's United Methodist Church in Carmel. This is the church I grew up going to. It's also where my mom's funeral was back in 2013, and it's where Lauren's funeral was in 2021. Their columbarium here is actually where their ashes are. In addition to scouting out this church, we're also finding a house to film in. Over the next week or so while I'm still in town, I will be going to those houses, feeling out where we might want to film. A little bit less than 2 months out from filming, and I think we're right where we need to be. I wonder when and how this, who put this here? This is the CD we gave out at the funeral.
Hi, I'm Seth Woodhouse.
I'm Melissa Callahan.
And we're the producers of Sometimes I Imagine Your Funeral. What was really interesting about this story, apart from even if I didn't know Vince, was it being a loved one of an addict.
We talk about it in the context of Chloe and Max and what needs to happen for the story.
We had to audition the 3 separate ages and then play matching up.
So it's become its own thing.
Yeah, and the script is juxtaposed with he's sitting on a tiny chair. I don't know if that will necessarily play. Yeah, because this is more what it's scripted as, which is funny. Who overwrote that?
My name's Gabe Donnelly. I'm an associate producer. I was the only producer that was in Indiana locally. I knew the whole family and I knew Lauren. I just kind of want to honor her memory and explore the feelings that someone goes through when they experience loss. There's that particular sequence with the stained glass walls. As soon as me and Vince walked into that room, we were like, this has got to be in it.
Basically the one scene in the film that's happening in live time, that's not a flashback.
That scene really is the emotional crux of the film. Max has to decide by the time he gets to the sanctuary how he wants to remember his sister. How will he eulogize her? Being here, filming at my childhood church, it's so special to me to connect the real authentic emotion that I have felt in this space to the film, and I really think it's going to show in the DNA of the final product. We are about to film the scene in which Max finishes reading the letter that he wrote to Chloe, and Ellie tries to convince him not to read it. This is one of the most challenging scenes to direct, and so it's a little bit we do the hard thing, and then it's just smooth sailing from there.
As far as I'm aware, we're just setting up for the first shot. Actors are getting dressed right now. I see the grips all walking around. I just saw the DP walk past. So I'm just making sure I know even remotely what I'm doing.
I wanted to say thank you all for being here. Whether we've worked together before, whether we were friends in high school or we just met today, I'm so excited to work with all of you. For a long time, I wasn't sure if I was emotionally ready or able to tell the story. So my hope for the weekend is that no matter how stressful or rushed or complicated things get, we can find joy and laughter, and yeah, let's make a movie. Yeah. And action.
Every person on set is telling the story in their own way, and the way that wardrobe tells that story is through clothes. It has been a privilege to get a chance to communicate how they're growing up, their different emotions, joyful times and more difficult times through what they're wearing in each scene.
Max and Ellie are gonna start probably around here. Start organizing them and walking them through that.
Right now, because they're not doing anything, just chatting.
Gabe is working with the extras for the next scene. Can we spare anybody to operate door? It's like the Barbie monologue, be a solid door, but not too solid. All right, and can we reset and not cut and just go for one more? So you'll be on the same sides of walking, still holding hands. Is Gabe around with the background actors for this scene? Yay. We shot out the church, which sounds way worse than it is. But basically, we have finished filming everything that takes place at the church in the script. I'm feeling great. I'm always worried about the schedule, but feeling like we got some really good stuff. really impressed.
And it's a wrap on our background actors. Thank you guys so much.
The house location is actually one of Vince's like childhood friends' home, and it's a beautiful home too. I don't know how much will shift in production design, but really beautiful home.
They have a really lovely home, but they definitely have a specific aesthetic, and since this film is set through multiple different time periods, we want it to kind of go all the way back to the early 2000s and then like 2012 era. For this set, it isn't too bad because the locations that we're filming are what the location's supposed to be. We're filming at a church, it's supposed to be a church, a house, it's supposed to be a house. I like to kind of like do the whole space to also help the actors, even if I know we're not gonna see some of the little details, because I think it's like better to be immersed in it. And for this, it was really nice because I'm home and at my parents' house, like for Max's bedroom, like most of that's just like all my brother's old stuff.
My name is Josiah Sargent. I'm playing the role of adult Max. Got the script, and then even after reading that, like found out after the fact that this was based on Vince's real life. Still basing it in the truth and the reality of the events, but also taking into regard that these are fictionalized versions of Vince and his sister and his family.
And action.
Ellie is going to be in the prom scene. We actually chose a baby blue prom dress on purpose because young Max is in a very light blue. So we really wanted to make sure that Ellie was in light blue because she is a light in his life and she's somebody who kind of brings him back to that simplicity and that innocence of a time when things were simpler for him. I think she does that for him.
With Ellie specifically, you see that the support system that she is in Max's life, and you kind of see how that dynamic really strengthens Max and that chemistry that they have together.
Playing Ellie symbolizes Vince's fiancée, Sarah, so being that close to someone's personal story is really impactful, and I think it's really rewarding to be able to be trusted to play that character. Ellie's supposed to be a huge comfort to Max through his hardships. That's what I'm here for. I'm kind of a shoulder to cry on and there to be his friend and his partner in his time of need.
Max and Ellie, all ready for prom. Smile for the camera.
I didn't even process how great these outfits are.
Awesome.
Yeah. Looks so prom. It's great.
I got to meet Michael, who's playing Teen Max. Great kid, like really got to connect and build up some rapport and chemistry there, which was really great.
My grandma and my mom have seen him and they think that it's great casting. My favorite part of being in this film is the acting part. It's really fun to see everything being set up and like how everything's done, like out in the garage with the lights passing by. I thought that was really cool.
How long are the scenes taking?
Oh, it's an impossible question to answer. Seth, quick question.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
No, that's somebody. Oh, we had some cancellations. Our actress who plays adult Chloe unfortunately tested positive for mono. We reached out to an actress, and so we were able to lock her in, which is great and very, very relieving.
I jumped on real fast, learning lines and learning the character in less than 24 hours before being on set. Based on the pictures that I have seen and how Vince talks about his sister, has really been helpful to create Chloe. So far, a lot of my scenes for Chloe has actually been like happier moments with her family and her brother.
As she was growing up as a teenager, the Chloe character that she would have wanted to be in with the cool kids, and I think as she gets a little bit older, her clothes get less and less popular trendy and more grunge trendy. Everybody uses clothes as a piece of self-expression or even maybe armor. And I think that as she gets older, we bring more armor.
You still see all these little pockets of joy that they experience throughout all three phases of, young Max, teen Max, and Chloe, and then the adult side too. It shows all of the good that's there, that was always there, that existed in their relationship.
I really want the audience to pay attention to Chloe being more. She has feelings, she has a family that loves her. She's human, she makes mistakes, but she's also dimensional and has fun and laughs.
This is all stuff for the bonfire, which they are drinking beer, but obviously because they are minors and for safety on set, we can't have real alcohol.
My favorite part of filming definitely would have been the bonfire scene and getting everyone to laugh.
You and shitting. Shit in the tub, Max. Shit in the lake. Shit everywhere. Well, they needed fire, and I made a fire, and it went pretty well, and no one touched anything hot. I see that as an absolute win. We got some sparklers, we got a fountain, and we're just getting ready for the next shot.
I'm Brooklyn Walker, and I'm playing Teen Chloe. I hope people can see the chemistry between our family and how it changes throughout the film, how there's parts of this scene where we're all happy, we're all one big happy family, like most real families, and then there's other times when I want them to be able to see the genuine anger and the fighting and stuff like that. I want that to be genuine, like an actual family that would be in a situation like this. Should I do a signature?
Yeah.
Where, like here?
Yeah, that works besides Chloe.
Brooklyn is a very friendly actress. It's been very fun working with her.
And it's been really helpful for both of us to really make Chloe be both of us. Look at our little younger eye.
Yeah, it's weird to see.
It's one I actually like too.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of ways that I can be more like her because she's very outgoing and she seems more like the life of the party kind of vibe. So I tried to take more of that from her after watching her because we are supposed to be the same person.
Happy 4th, Chloe.
Love my interpretive dance.
I love that. It was very emotive.
This guy went to film school, you know that?
All right, guys, gather around. Welcome to day 2. Thanks for being here. We're filming all inside this house. There are stairs. People are going up and down.
You guys killed it yesterday. I'm honestly so impressed that this is some of our first time working together. Keep up the great work, and thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for dealing with the rain today. Really appreciate it. All right, let's go get it.
Let's do it.
It's so cool to see how this community as a whole has rallied around Vince. I think there's so much chemistry within this crew and this cast already. I genuinely think this is a really, really special group of people.
We're already feeling like a family, and I think that's so important on set. I've enjoyed every minute here. I've had lots of fun, and I've really enjoyed everyone that I've met.
Part of my job is just taking screenshots of the monitoring system to make sure that we are keeping things continuous between shots like hairstyles and prop placement and all that. I think our camera team is doing a wonderful job. Joe's back here putting together a camera as we speak.
Oh, hey.
You know, even though this is a lot of our first time meeting each other, we're working like a pretty well-oiled machine. I'm enjoying every second of this. I typically find myself not super duper happy on short films sometimes, so this is actually a really fun one. Everybody is super cool.
We need all the joints to be popped up, I think.
I mean, as long as we can just keep it up, you know? More than I can say.
I go zip, and you have to take that and send it to someone else.
Zap.
And then you take it and send it to someone else with zop.
Zop. Zip. Zap. Zop.
Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip.
Zap.
Zop. Zip. Zap. Zop.
Zap. Zop.
Zip.
Zop.
Zop.
Well, we're starting upstairs in a very, very tight hallway, so I've already talked with camera department about where I can stand to put the boom and everything because it's also intense scene, so it's gonna sound really good and really organic.
So far we've done the scene where I'm stealing jewelry from my parents' room and my brother Max catches me and then I'm running after him and screaming don't call dad.
The scene upstairs, that was kind of the only scene that we've done where we kind of bonded. It kind of felt like how my sister would bang on my door if she was mad at me.
These are scenes that are based on my real life. These are things that have happened to me with my sister Lauren. I'm able to kind of step aside emotionally and just view it as what are these scenes, how are they playing out, and I'm really happy with what I've seen so far. So yeah, so she'll be looking right in the lens.
Okay.
And I'll show you how the zoom works on it, but it's very much like that energy.
Yeah.
So if you want to just play around with it, you can even shoot something now if you want to.
Like this would be the. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Hey everybody, it's me. Walking through, hot mic, no one say anything bad. What we just saw back there was everyone at lunch, but then the big thing tonight is the ambulance scene. Max comes out of his room, has no idea what's going on. He sees EMTs rushing by down the stairs, out in front of the house, and he watches as his sister gets carted into an ambulance.
And that involves real EMTs from Fishers.
I will give all credit to Vince for the EMTs. He's been in contact with the city of Fishers.
The mayor had to sign off on them being in the film.
We're out of service for this to be able to get this done. As far as we know, what you guys have told us in the past couple minutes. Other than that, see what the night brings.
This look is going to be for a paramedic's look where I get taken on a stretcher after an overdose. It's a really tough scene. I know a lot of people are probably going to be reliving this type of scene, but I really hope that I can do the scene justice.
This is day 3 of production on Sometimes I Imagine Your Funeral, and I'm really excited for this one since I've been looking forward to it all weekend. So this is actually our first scene with young Max and young Chloe, and they're just going to be playing through the sprinkler, running back and forth. I'm probably going to start warming them up with some zip zap zap to just get the energy flowing again, and then they don't know it, but when we're filming the sprinkler scene, I'm going to come out with a bathing suit and run around with them in the sprinkler before we start rolling. Any of you played zip zap zap? Zip.
Zap, zap.
Zip. Oh, who's going first? Me? Me? All right, I'll do it. Woo!
Come on, Max. Chloe!
Great job. Very good job. Great job, Vivi. So this is actually our last scene at the house that we've been filming at the last few days. We're gonna do a big company move to a park playground where we have a pretty heavy scene for adult Chloe, played by Samantha, which is when she gives her voicemail to Max. I'm really excited about that because we've recorded a voicemail greeting of Michael, who's playing the teenage Max.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Max. I can't get on the phone right now, so leave a message at the beep. Or, text me like a normal person. Beep.
So that way when Chloe calls Max, she's actually hearing his, 15-year-old voice, but she's talking to her 22-year-old brother. And action whenever you're ready. That scene is really complicated emotionally because even though what Chloe's saying is we should hang out soon, we should go grab sushi, my room's at the end of the hallway, what she's really saying is goodbye. Thank you for doing this.
You're going to see some negative moments, some positive moments, and I feel like everyone's going to find a moment they relate to.
Obviously, there's so many feelings in the grieving process, but one that isn't talked about because it's a little uncomfortable is anger.
The topic of addiction and how that affects not only the victim of addiction, but those involved in their life and their loved ones.
It is incredibly important to check in on your family and friends.
A lot of the people who've known him since he was like teen Max's age in real life have been in his life for a lot of the moments like these, and how we are all very proud of him and how it's something really special and meaningful that we're all taking part in here.
All right, and
that's a wrap on Josiah.
Yeah! Super sad it's ending. Filming's been so fun.
You can't say enough good things about being able to work with this cast and crew. I've had so much fun these past 3 days. Thank you, Vince, and Seth and Alyssa and Gabe. I mean, feel incredibly blessed to be able to be a small part of telling this story. Sometimes I Imagine Your Funeral, cast and crew. Thank you all. Love you guys. I love being a part of this.
So excited for that grocery store.
If we are able to shoot inside a grocery store, we're very excited.
For the grocery store, that has been emailing different stores, calling different stores, got a lot of no's. And then this store said, okay, maybe, but after we close.
Oh, hi. We are at Market District. Max and Chloe are having a blast at the grocery store, tearing down the aisle in a shopping cart. We have 2 of the finest young actors I have ever worked with who have been killing it all weekend. In the showbiz, they call this the martini scene. Maybe they don't, but they call that last shot the martini shot, so I assume it's the same. We've been having such a fun time, so this is a perfect one to end it on. Here's the final shot of the day. That's a wrap!
Oh my God. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. I hate this guy.
All right, this is my speech. To have finished production on Sometimes I Imagine Your Funeral. It's so special to me that we can be here tonight to celebrate. This is by far the most beautiful looking film that I have ever worked on. This is to us, to having an amazing weekend of filming, so successful, and thank you to all of you. I also nailed it. Cheers! Cheers!
Cheers, man.
Cheers! Cheers!
This is who's been making all these behind the scenes shots.
Thanks for letting me have my camera make a feature into your film. This has been really cool to see this back in action, and having this be sentimental to a childhood of yours is really bittersweet, because this was used for so many years to film my childhood and the many relationships I had with my family, and so I'm glad that you could use this for your film.
I am at the Fox 59 headquarters with Don and Bobby from Community Fairbanks Recovery Center. I think this interview is primarily focused on the ethos of like why we're doing what we're doing, whether that is making a film about substance use disorders or working to actually help families like on the ground.
Here to share more about how he captures this difficult subject is the writer and the director, Vince Dixon.
It's so fascinating that out of such a tragedy of losing my sister, we get something that, like, the filming process brought us so much joy and connection. That's something that's so important to me, and I feel like is missing in a lot of addiction stories, is the joy. And see everyone's smiles, like, that's not something that happens to me every day. It's not something that happens to me every year.
We just filmed a movie!